Hey mamas, I'm Brooke Miller, registered dietitian, certified lactation counselor, and a mama who has helped hundreds of moms feel like themselves again after baby, boost their energy, mood, metabolism, and even milk supply. Inside of the Postpartum Shift podcast, you'll learn how to take care of your health so that you can show up best for the ones you care about most. Each week, we'll tackle topics like nutrition, exercise, breastfeeding, mental health, and so much more. Plus, you'll get access to guest experts who will share ways to make your pregnancy and postpartum experience easier. Whether you're approaching the postpartum period or you're right in the thick of it, you're in the right place. Let's dive into today's topic. Hey, welcome back to the podcast. And this week's episode is all about how to mindfully eat during the holidays. And so for a lot of us, this is a really big week. We have different holidays that so many of us are celebrating, whether it's, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever it may be, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, all of these things are happening. And you may be around a lot of different foods that you don't normally see. You may be around a lot of different types of events and meals, and you may, want to indulge and enjoy a lot of things, but you're unsure how to do it in a way that still makes your body feel good. And so if that's you, this is today's short and sweet episode where we're going to be covering that topic. And so first and foremost, if you are heading into any holiday meals, something to kind of keep in mind is, what do you want that meal to look like? So are you wanting to end that meal feeling overly full? Are you wanting to end that meal having tried a lot of different variety of things on your plate? How do you want to feel at the end of the night? And that's something that I always ask myself going into any meal so that I'm very intentional with my decisions. Sometimes I go into a meal and I say, you know what, I just want to try a little bit of everything. And then whatever I really love, whatever is so amazing, I'm going to go back and get a little bit more of that. That's usually my intention for most meals. Sometimes my intention going in is I just want to, I kind of want to mindlessly eat and I don't really care how I feel after. That happens occasionally. And if I do that, I am less likely to feel guilt or shame or anxiety after the meal because I've at least set that intention going into that. So that is something that you can do this holiday season, is set your intention before every meal, before every experience, and say, what do I want out of this? Sometimes it's all about, it's not really about the food for a lot of these experiences. It's more about, I want to make good memories with my family and my friends. I want to enjoy, I want to have good conversations. I want to take pictures and spend quality time and ask how they're doing and check in and doing all of those things. And so that is something that is such a beautiful thing during this time, is a lot of times we get to see friends or family that we don't get to spend a lot of time with. And so that can be something that your intention is as well. Something else that I think a lot of us can struggle with during these meal times is just this aimless snacking that happens for a lot of us, where we're just kind of standing and talking and distracted and just kind of eating a snack, grabbing one of these, grabbing one of these, grabbing one of these, and we're just kind of standing around. That is something that I have caught myself doing on so many occasions. And so something I've stepped into instead is I'll grab a plate, I'll look around and be like, what do I want? What do I actually want to try? What do I want to eat? And then I'll put the things on my plate that I intentionally want to eat. That way, if I am standing there talking to somebody, or if we decide to go sit down at the table, I'm still able to enjoy those foods and the conversation, but I'm not just kind of mindlessly grabbing whatever is in front of me, even if it's not necessarily a food that I want to eat. And then I can just be more intentional about balancing my plate in a way. So a lot of times I'll balance my plate with different things. So maybe if I want dessert, I'll put a dessert on there, but I'll also throw in maybe some meat or mashed potatoes or, other, a wide variety of things on my plate, so that I feel physically a little bit better, because we know that when our blood sugar is all over the place and we're just kind of eating on an empty stomach, and then all of a sudden we're like, oh, all these desserts, I'm just going to have 5 desserts, and then we haven't really eaten anything else, that is going to spike and crash our blood sugar. We're not going to feel very physically good. And so that's not a very good game plan going into the meal. Something else that sometimes we'll head into these meals and we have this all or nothing mentality of I'm not allowed to eat this, or I need to be good, I need to stay on track. That mentality can actually make it even more difficult. So when we tell ourselves that we can't have something or we shouldn't have something, we tend to want it more. And so that is also a mindset that we want to shift if we are stuck in that all or nothing mentality around food during the holiday season. Is what if we could just shift it and say, how can I enjoy some of these amazing foods that I don't get to have and do it in a way that still makes my body feel good? And also enjoy the food, enjoy the meal, enjoy making memories. How can I, pay attention enough so that I can actually stop when I'm full and satisfied so that I don't feel that Thanksgiving full where all of us like unbutton our pants, we fall asleep, take a nap because we're so exhausted. And so that's something to kind of keep in mind.
If you've been wanting to reach your healthiest weight and feel like yourself again postpartum without having to sacrifice your favorite foods or your milk supply, I've got a free workshop just for you. Inside of this free workshop, you'll discover how to boost energy, mood, metabolism, and even protect your milk supply. You'll learn common mistakes that moms make that actually cause exhaustion, mood swings, low milk supply, and weight loss resistance to become worse, things that moms don't even realize. And you'll learn the proven 3-step method to heal your hormones and metabolism after baby so you can go from surviving to thriving postpartum. Plus, as a free gift, you'll get my postpartum snack guide when you come hang out with us. All you have to do is click the link in the show notes to save your seat today. Spots are limited. See you there.
And if you decide that you're intentionally going to maybe overeat at a meal because maybe it's your favorite food and you're like, you know what, I want to do this, then there are some things that you can do afterwards to make sure that, we're not having a lot of guilt and shame after, and to just kind of help us feel a little bit better afterwards. So something that we always do as a family is, at Christmas or Thanksgiving or whatever it may be, when I used to go back home and, we had all of the cousins, all the aunts and uncles and relatives, a lot of times we would do a walk after our meal, and just getting fresh air, getting some movement in, that can actually really help us with our digestion and make us feel a little bit better after that meal physically. If you feel like you're about to crash on the couch and, kind of fall asleep, doing a walk is something that can really, really help. And then also just kind of looking at that experience judgment free and saying, yeah, that happened. That's okay. My next meal or the meal tomorrow that I eat, I can, be a little bit more intentional next time about balancing my plate in a way that feels really, really good. And so those are just some things to kind of keep in mind during this holiday season. I know for some of us, the holidays can also bring some stress. Sometimes we're like, oh, we're buying presents and we have to travel and we have the kids and we have to wrap all these presents. And, maybe the budget is a stressor for you this year of like, how am I going to buy all these toys and do all these things? Or I spent so much on Christmas gifts, like whatever, stressors that you're facing. A lot of times it is easy for us to kind of turn to food to cope in those situations. And so even just this holiday season, just having some awareness with, are you doing that? Is that happening? And if it is, that's okay. But, there might be some other coping mechanisms that we can kind of put in place during this season so that we're not just using food as our only coping mechanism to handle any of the, stressors from the holidays. And so, whether the holidays are a really exciting time, whether they are a sad time, a stressful time, whatever that may be, whatever emotions are coming up during this time, just know that food can be used as a coping mechanism. It's okay to do that. And it's, also okay to lean into some other coping mechanisms. And I know for us, this holiday season, it's kind of a mix of emotions, truthfully. Like, we are in some really big joys in our life right now, and we're also in a hard season of grief right now. We just lost our dog after, we've had him for over 10 years, and we just lost him, very, very recently. And so I know the holidays are not going to look the same without him here. We've had him for every holiday since we've been married. And so that part of our holiday is going to be really, really hard this year. But we also found out Thanksgiving Day last year that we were pregnant with our baby who is now with us this year, baby Morgan. And so this is also Morgan's first Christmas. Sawyer is at an age where he can really like understand the holidays and unwrapping presents. And Ashton, loves, I know he's going to love some of the things that he's going to be getting this holiday season too. And so, we have a lot of things this year as a family that we are thankful for, but we also, have grief, and you might be in the season of feeling kind of the same way where there's grief and there's, maybe you have a new family member, maybe you've lost a loved one or a pet. It can be a really hard time as well. And so I just want to honor and, let you mamas know if you are in a season of grief and the holidays are going to make things more difficult. Like I am truly praying for you, and I hope that you can have some peace this holiday season. If you are just overly excited that you get to spend time with friends and family this holiday season, I'm so grateful that you get to experience that. What a blessing that you get to experience that. I'm so happy for you. And just know that whatever happens over the next few weeks with your eating, one meal, a few meals is not going to make or break your health. At the end of the day, our health is a multitude of things that we do every day consistently for a long period of time. So even if you feel off track for a few days during this holiday season, it is not going to make or break your entire health journey. It's not like you have to just, oh my gosh, I've like fallen so far off the wagon that there's no hope for me. I don't want you feeling that way at all. There is hope. You're never too far off track. You can always, look at tomorrow or your next meal and ask yourself, like, what can I do in this moment to really help my body thrive in this season? What can I do for my mental health during this season of the holidays, to just really help myself be able to connect with my body and feel my best? And when we're able to just try to slow down during this holiday season, that can be really beneficial. So many times, we're mindfully eating or we're turning to food and we're doing it in a way where we're just not in tune with what our body is needing in that moment. We're not really paying attention. And so even if just this year, your only focus is being a little bit more mindful, slowing down a bit, really paying attention, getting curious with what's going on, if all that you do this year is that, I promise you are going to be in a much better situation than you were last holiday season. So I want you to know that I am cheering for you. I really hope that you have a Merry Christmas, a Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever holiday you are celebrating. I just want you to know that, I hope it's a beautiful holiday season for you, and I am cheering for you. So I will see you mamas in the next episode.
Exercise is crucial for our overall mental and physical health, especially during pregnancy and postpartum. Something that has helped me stay really consistent with strength training and yoga at home during nap time is the Expecting and Empowered workout app. I love that I can choose how many weeks pregnant or postpartum I am, and the app tells me exactly what to do. Plus, there's cardio, yoga, and strength training options for new moms and moms to be. You can go ahead and click the link in the show notes to get 7 days free and also save 15% off the annual option when you use promo code Nutrition for Mamas. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and listening to the Postpartum Shift podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, it would mean the world to me if you could share this episode with a mom friend and leave a written review. This helps the podcast reach and help even more moms. Come say hi over on Instagram at Nutrition for Mamas.